Lights, camera, action. Last week, we saw 11 celebrities move into the Big Brother house for the first time in the 18-year history of the show, and it has been insane. Plus, we're talking to Big Brother winner Josh Martinez from BB19. Welcome to the Celebrity Big Brother After Show.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh my God.
It's the year of the woman, right? That's what everyone keeps saying in the house.
It really is.
I don't know.
Gosh,
Why-
Kesha, every episode, it's happening.
Why do I feel so at home with Kesha playing? I don't know. Hey guys, welcome to the first ever Celebrity Big Brother After Show. I'm Bryce McLeay. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Bryce Advice. As always, I am sitting next to the winner of Big Brother Over the Top, Morgan Willett.
Stop, guys.
Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Oh, well, guys. Okay, you can find me on Twitter at Morgan_Willett, Instagram at Morgan Lee Willett. Don't ever change your Instagram name to match because I lost my verification from doing that.
God.
No. But I got it back, don't worry. I blew up Twitter. But so happy to be back, guys. Oh my gosh, what a good season. I feel like my heart's about to explode out of my chest. There's so much to talk about.
Finally here, but first we want to introduce our guest host, Jessica Williams. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
What's up, everyone? I am Jessica Williams. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Jessica WW and on Instagram at Miss Jessica Williams. And I am so happy to be here.
Thank you for coming.
Big Brother
Yes.
fan over here since season 1, 2000. It gets real.
Guys,
with
she
Big
even
Brother.
watched
Yeah,
my
I was just gonna say,
season.
she
She
told
watched
you
the
that she watched this one.
webisode. She's for real.
I'm committed.
And you guys, we're so excited. We're just about to get him on the line here. We're gonna talk to Josh Martinez, the winner of Big Brother 19. He's gonna be coming up, and we're gonna get all
Questions.
his
What's up, Josh?
Hey!
What's up?
Josh. Hey, it's Bryce from AfterBuzz. Thank you so much for joining us.
What's going on? Why can't I see you guys?
Yeah, so that's a little fun fact. We can see you,
Yeah.
but you won't be able to see
this
us.
sucks.
We can try and send you the stream.
We'll try that, but just know we
yeah,
can
that's
see
good.
your beautiful
Yeah,
face.
yes, we can
Yeah.
definitely see you. And we really appreciate you because it's like 1 a.m. where you are. You're on the East Coast, so we really appreciate you staying up with us.
It's cool, dude. I'm excited. I've honestly been looking forward to it all day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Well, there's
Love the
literally
At
so much to
night,
talk
all
about.
day
Love
on
the
this interview, so I'm excited.
Were you traveling?
Yeah, I was in New York. I went to LA for a Celebrity Big Brother on Thursday.
Yes.
We did like a little segment, like kind of picked our winners and talked about the season. And then I was in New York for the premiere party, went back to New York for some interviews, and I got back today. So yeah, it's been a little
that's
Do you
awesome.
sleep anymore, Josh?
Or not?
I feel like I don't, but yeah, I took a good nap on the
I
plane,
think
so-
that must be like a thing that Big Brother, because you say you don't sleep either. Big Brother
Yeah,
winners
no.
just don't sleep at all. They don't.
It messes with your
Yeah.
head. Like, you, like, get out of that house and you're like, what's, like, I can't sleep because in the fear
Yeah.
of hearing Big Brother's voice. Wake me up.
Right.
For sure.
Well,
The
Josh,
music blasting in the morning that they used to wake us up with, that and just the hours, I guess, like the time difference is what messed me up big time.
What's the song that irks you the most that they played?
Morgan, I'm pretty sure you know this one, but the final countdown, did they play it for you too?
We were, okay, so here's a fun fact about the webisode version. So we were on a bit of a budget on OTT, and we didn't get
It didn't play
music.
music?
No, we didn't get
Are you
music.
serious?
They took out music out the budget.
I didn't get
Oh my
a single
God.
song the whole time.
Not even
Wow.
like a Kids Bop version of a song, like maybe one that was like a
No,
knockoff?
y'all, they gotta pay for that. They weren't on BB budget giving us any songs.
Oh my
I
gosh,
Wow.
that's
But
crazy.
wait, Josh, speaking of songs, like how often do people walk up to you saying da 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 da?
All the time. I literally got it in the airport. I get called meatball every 5 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I knew it was gonna stick with it, but I thought it would die out after like the first 2 months. No, it's still going strong.
You will be
so
forever
yeah.
known as a
It'll be
meatball.
It'll be
Yeah,
forever
I don't
known.
regret saying it. I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna hear meatballs
Yeah,
for the
did you
rest of
just
my life.
make
But
that
that was
up?
fun.
Did you just make up meatball? How did you find to insult someone by calling them a meatball?
I honestly love mob movies, so I would literally watch Scarface, Goodfellas, Godfather, and I couldn't say, well, I don't know if I could curse on here, but I didn't want to curse or offend people because it was a family show. So
it's a family show, I guess. TV 13 or whatever it is.
I would
Okay.
just call the meatballs, and I guess it's stuck. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's...
You left quite the legacy.
Yeah, you really did. Okay, so we definitely want to get your opinions on Celebrity Big Brother. I want to just go over I want to get your thoughts on the cast first before we just start diving into everything. So for everyone who has been watching, just to recap, we've got Ross Matthews, Brandi Glanville, Shannon Elizabeth, Meta World Peace, Chuck Liddell, Marissa Jarrett Winokur.
I just call her Marissa.
Winokur, I think.
Winokur, you're right. Mark McGrath, James Maslow, Keisha Knight Pulliam. I don't know how to pronounce anything.
Just call her Keisha.
Ariadna Gutierrez, I pronounced that right.
Nice.
And Omarosa, as whoever you want to.
I say Omarosa.
Omarosa. Okay, so who did you guys? So before the show started, who did you guys like? Who were you excited about seeing before the show?
Honestly, I think that they did an awesome job casting. Like, I thought they were gonna have other people on it, but
who are you expecting?
I think that it's exciting. I think it's exciting. I don't know. I thought I was gonna see like somebody from the challenge, like Johnny Bananas, which would have been bad because that's an advantage already. Or even Bobby, that he's a huge fan. He came on to our season. But I think they did a great job. And to know that most of them are huge fans of Big Brother, it's kind of crazy to me. But yeah, it makes it fun.
What did you guys think?
I agree. I think they did an amazing job with casting. I think they got a little bit of every type of person. And I think it is interesting because I was scared. I was like, they're going to get some celebrities who don't know how the game works. Yeah. They're going to be clueless. Like, are they going to game? And I'm so impressed by seeing how much strategy is going on with these people. Like, even Brandi and Ari, or what? Ari?
Okay,
killing it.
Yeah.
But I will say my favorites from early on, obviously Shannon Elizabeth was rooting for her, and Marissa, and Ross, because Ross obviously does a podcast with AfterBuzz, and Marissa watched OTT, so like my heart gave a little bit. I was like, good job, girl.
Yeah. No, I love it,
no,
and I love that.
I was also rooting for them too. I'll let you. I'm sorry, I'm getting all excited.
No, you're good. This is a combo. But no, I love that the celebrities not only said that they were fans, but they proved it by knowing knowledge. Like they were spitting seasons and past players, and just knowing the competition so well. So I love that factor. Also went into it saying, I am watching for Brandi, I am watching for Omarosa, and I am watching for Ross, because I knew that those three would be such dynamic characters, so full of light and drama filled, clearly. Like, Ross is giving me all types of life in the DRs. Like,
his DR sessions are gold. I think he's hilarious in the DR. And honestly, that, like Morgan said, that they're huge fans. Like, I love Shannon. We're going to dive into gameplay, but I was really rooting for her in the beginning. And Omarosa is just TV gold. I mean, she's been for years, but I think with Big Brother, we're seeing a different side from her. I highly disliked her from shows that she was on before. So like now I get to see a more vulnerable and more real side of her, and it's kind of nice to see.
Well, yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. What do you guys think about her casting? Because I mean, this is, you know, it is huge. There is huge ratings, and I sound like Donald Trump now. Like huge ratings. It's been huge ratings, but everybody wants to see what she was going to say about the president, and we'll get there. But what were you surprised by her casting? Did you have any opinion, or?
I just want to know how much she got paid, because if she made more than me, I was
exactly what I want to know.
100 days. I'm pissed. I'm hating life.
I mean, seriously.
I was talking to Evil Dick tonight. I went on his podcast right before this, and I was talking with him, and he said that everyone got paid $200K to go in. But I feel like she had to have gotten a little bit more. Like, you know, she's not going in that house at the same stipend as everyone else.
And at this stage in the game, when everything is so,
I'm thinking she's looking
fresh. She just got out the White House. There's no way that she got paid $200K to go in that house.
No, I'm thinking she's way more up there.
Yeah, she's super valuable. I thought that casting was brilliant. For ratings, clearly, but then she's also known as just this epic villain, and you know, sometimes people are really
so smart. She's such a strategist.
She is, and her mind is
I don't know if
always
she's
thinking.
playing the game and she's fooling all of us by showing a nicer side of her, or it's just really her. It's really who she is.
Yeah.
because I just like the moment that she had with Ross where she was talking, which scared the hell out of me about the government and we should be scared. I'm like, what? Are we not picking up on this?
Also,
what
actually, hang on. We have
that was a real side to her that I like to watch.
Well, now that you mention it, we actually have that clip. Can we play just the clip with her and Ross just so we can? Because it's really interesting.
Perfect segue.
If we can get it.
Basically, it says we're all screwed.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
be afraid.
You know, we're not
afraid.
like obviously we're not a political show, but I just wonder. I wonder if she was feeling, if she was being genuine or she was doing it completely on purpose.
Right.
And it just brought in another element of like this game because, you know, in every other season it's just been regular people coming into this house. What is the celebrity component going? When is that going to kick in with this? Like she was in the White House, you know, even we've already seen a little bit of, I guess I wouldn't say tension, but between Omarosa and Keisha because of Keisha's relationship with Mr. Cosby. And, you know, I just wonder like when that celebrity factor is going to like, you know, start to be used against them. You know, I don't like her because she was in the White House or whatever. I don't like Sugar Ray music or whatever. You know, I'm just wondering if that will ever come into play or if they will.
I think people went in very open-minded, and that's an element that I was super surprised at because these people have reputations, and you know them for who they present themselves to be. Right. And Omarosa, in particular, because of her affiliation with this administration, and I like that she is showing a vulnerable side. I think it's super smart. I think it has a lot to do with gameplay because she knows how to work the room and work people. But at the same time, I think she's kind of beat up.
Yeah.
I mean, she kind of went through a lot and then got kicked out the White House, kicking and screaming, as reports say. But, you know, I think that she wants to just be human again.
Yeah.
But it's gameplay.
I can say from being in that house, and I'm pretty sure Morgan can agree with me, after a few days you get so comfortable on camera that you kind of forget that the cameras are there. I know it sounds crazy, but you get so comfortable. And I watched that clip and I see it as in she thinks she's just having a conversation with Ross, whereas she doesn't know that all of America is literally tuning in on her and waiting for her to literally break the internet.
But see, like, I kind of believe because of who she is and what she's, and like I've watched her on other shows, I think she does know exactly what she's doing. I think she knows the perfect places and the perfect times to utilize that strategy.
See,
I do.
Now I'm interested that because I'm with Josh. Like it gets to the point where you do forget it. But I'm also a very normal, average, run-of-the-mill person who like isn't used to being in the White House and being the center of attention. So now that you bring that up, I wonder because, I mean, she has to know like anything that she mentions about Trump is gonna be just
she knows
viral.
all eyes, every news. I mean, like I've read, you know, Julie said it multiple times in interviews. She said every news organization, if she comes from a news background, she was like every news organization should have a camera on Celebrity Big Brother because of what she's gonna say.
Interesting that you say that.
And she knows that she's valuable in that way. But I think that she's playing a twofold game. Number one, she's playing the people in the house. And number two, honestly, she's trying to rehabilitate her character and personality in the real world and in particular in the Black community because of her views have been so against the movement. And she now has been ousted and now she wants to earn back favoritism by going against Donald Trump and saying all these heinous things about him. She thinks it's going to earn her points.
I think you are right on the money. I wanted to ask the two house guests here, being former house guests, how do you guys feel about the star treatment that these guys are getting? They get their own beds.
Yo, they get unlimited alcohol.
Yes. Did you guys get any alcohol in there?
I think I had one full beer and one full glass of champagne.
Wow.
I think I had probably half a beer and half a glass of wine. Like,
oh my gosh.
It completely sucks. But at the same time, I mean, they're celebrities and they're going to have their, you know, demands and things like that. So I get it, but in the same sense,
it's just like, dang, like they got it nice. But then I think about Brandy. You know, in Brandy's contract, she said, I am not coming on unless I get a bottle of champagne a day. I'm like, girl, good for you.
That's true.
And they were probably like, we don't want you on unless you drink a bottle of champagne a day.
But do you think that's...
And producers love that also. Like, give her a glass of wine and she's going to go crazy, so why not?
Yeah, but do you think that's diminishing their gameplay at all, from what you've seen?
I think the only person... I think Brandy had a few slip-ups. I think that there was a couple times I even saw on live feeds where Ross would come up to her and be like, you're too honest. Like, you're about to ruin and blow up the alliance. Like, kind of be careful. So I think that can come to hurt her, but it's also Brandy. I think that's just like what you should expect with her.
Yeah.
I think just working with Brandy in general is just not a good idea. Like, I feel like if you cross her, she's going to blow up the whole house. So why even like play with fire, kind of?
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. And you give her a bottle of wine and she's going to be fun to watch. I can't wait to see it unravel and see what, you know, what she dishes. It's going to be fun.
I love the dynamic between her and James. I think that's going back to kind of episode 1. I wanted him to stay so bad just to see their interactions.
Morgan and I were texting the other night, and she's like, "I love James," and I was like, "I hate James."
You know what? I hate James. But James is good TV.
Morgan's like, "We're gonna have an argument when I see him."
Oh my God!
I don't like him as. I don't think he's like, oh my God, I love him. He's such an awesome person. I think for this show, he's gold for it. He's like, you need that villain, and you need that person who you're like, dang, he's kind of annoying and kind of egotistical.
Or is he Paul, though? Is he Cody or Paul?
He's a Cody for sure.
Yeah, he's a Cody 100%.
100% hands down, he's a Cody, and he's a complete, I don't know if I could curse here, but douche. And I feel like I just pick up on that. I don't know if it's just me, because everybody seems to like love him, but I think he's a douche, and I think he makes good TV.
Right.
Like, if you don't have that type of character
you want
there
on TV.
Right.
God, he's so annoying.
That is. I mean, that is a good valid point. He's just makes me sick sometimes.
Yes, and I love how Brandy shut him down multiple times. I was like, yes,
Brandy,
get him, get him, girl.
There's a kitchen scene that I love.
Yes.
Oh my God.
How did that escalate so quickly?
Him completely, and it's like the best.
Yeah. That just went like from 0 to 10 so fast.
Love her.
Yeah. She's
so what do you guys think about Shannon Elizabeth then? I want to switch gears to her.
And Josh, I actually had a question I wanted to ask you about this, because I know you went into the game as a giant super fan, as she is, but she's playing a very different game than you.
Yes.
She's playing almost, I feel like, too hard. Like, do you agree with that? Do you think she's shooting herself in the foot?
Yeah, I think that she's playing really aggressive, and I think that the target that she's painted on her back is way too big now. I think if she wants to make it further in the game and make it to top 4, top 5, she's going to have to step back and let either James or someone else start making moves and start controlling it from behind the scenes.
Yes.
Because she's just painted, she didn't have to win that veto, and just she's running around that house just making deals with everybody. I mean, she had the whole house was in an alliance with Shannon.
Right.
So I don't
literally.
think that
veto was insane.
Smart on her end.
Like, there was no reason for it. Like, she could have, spelled a shorter word.
Responsible. Do we have to add all the IES?
Wait, so what did you guys play that game, and what did you spell?
Okay, here
we didn't play.
You didn't play it?
No, and we didn't either.
He would have spelled meatball.
Yeah. I had a really good word. I was brainstorming the whole season thinking I was going to get to play, and then...
Oh, you didn't either?
I didn't get to play.
No, that's too bad.
I know. You sound so concerned, Bryce.
I was like, I teed the question up. I thought both of you guys have a great answer, great words, and then nothing.
Yeah, we were. I was actually practicing for that one also, and we never got that comp, which sucked. Yeah, I was expecting it like middle of the season, never got it.
Same.
But back to your question about Shannon, though, I think that she started off really strong, and I think that was good to save the Girl Alliance, which we have to talk about.
I wanted to ask you, Jessica, what do you think? Why do you think an all-girls alliance doesn't work? I mean, I know you. I could hear Morgan groan.
I mean, it worked for her.
I could hear Morgan groan from my house.
I will let everyone else speak.
It worked for Morgan, so
I know. So not in Big Brother history, Omarosa. Right. It's not the first time.
Omarosa, you don't know who I am, but I would like to speak with you after this.
She has words for you. I think that girl alliances do not work because, unfortunately, women get suspicious of one another too quickly. While men have a more calm demeanor and they kind of trust and kind of roll with it, women overthink. And it's a quality that we have, but it's also a downfall, especially in situations like this. So I was like, how do you not get through the first nomination, through the first eviction, through the, without things blowing up? However, I do have to say that Keisha and Omarosa's decision to kind of do a switcheroo on the nominations was doing the most, and it was too much that soon. I think they should have just kind of let things be calm and roll with it.
Right.
I get that it's 3 weeks, but they flipped on each other so quick. And also, Shannon being a fan of Big Brother should know that you never make an alliance. One, with 95% of the house.
Right. 7
and
people.
2 on the first day. Like on the first day, you got to feel people out, see who you're working with, and then make a move and go according to that. But I just think that it just happened way too soon, and I knew it was gonna blow up. I just wanted to see. I thought it was gonna be way later on, not by episode 3.
Yeah,
right.
Not the third day.
Lived.
So them bringing Ross in, was that a good idea or not? Did that, because I feel like that sort of threw the first wrench in the whole thing. Unfortunately, I love Ross, but I think that's what happened because he isn't a woman, even though they said that he was. And
poor Ross.
He got super
completely disrespectful. But I think that it's good for Ross, of course, because he's getting information. He has the numbers on his side for Shannon, and it was a horrible move because, listen, let's say that it did work out and they would have made it to that top 6, top 5. Top 7 or whatever, guess who's going to get clipped first? Either way, Shannon, because she's painted this huge target where she's the ringleader. For some people, it works. Paul. For some people, it doesn't.
True.
And I don't think it would have worked out for her either way. I think that she's going to be leaving pretty soon.
Josh,
I agree.
Do you sympathize at all with Ross being kind of called? Because I felt like that sort of happened a little bit with you and like Jessica and Cody, where they kind of called you out for unnecessary stuff like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do you feel like how would you tell him to like move past that or like?
I think that one thing that I went in there to win, so I don't take disrespect at all in the real world, but I kind of had to shut that down.
Yeah.
I got to the point where I said, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna go head to head with these people and I leave, then so be it. But people realized that we were both kind of throwing it back and forth and disrespecting each other. But I think that Ross is a really smart guy. I wouldn't feed into it. I think that he's there to win, and he should focus on that and just dismiss whatever disrespect comes his way. Now, if it gets out of hand, then grab the pots and pans and go wild. I think that he's smart, and he's playing it right.
I have a follow-up question. Have you watched The Amazing Race?
I have not, and it might come to many people's surprise, but I hope that Jess and Cody do end up winning. $1 million is $1 million. So
that's a lot of money.
I have a question.
And even though we don't talk and we're not friends, I have no ill intent or anything. I kind of left that in the house, so I really hope they win or won.
Question for you guys, just in that whole situation with Ross. So he was super offended and felt disrespected, but was it just because they said like, oh, we want women to win because this is a girls' alliance, and they kind of didn't say women in Ross? Was that the high level of disrespect that he felt so strongly about?
I think that it's disrespectful just in general. Like,
I
just was a little bit insensitive. Like I don't think it was like over the top, but
I think that they were just kind of like going out of their. It almost felt like I don't want to bring in like the bullying tactic, but it was just like, how hard would it have been to be like, and Ross, you know, like it was really something simple. But and to me, I just felt like he had every right to feel disrespected. But
so you felt it was intentional,
right?
Okay,
okay.
Let's talk about the recast power. This twist with because I don't understand it, and it was like really like 3 people. I remember watching the episode, and like 3 people were trying to explain it, and I still didn't get it. Can someone shed the light on this? On this?
I don't even get it.
I really don't. It's a good twist, but I feel like
I think it's a fun twist, but it was there and gone in one episode. So it's like, what was the purpose of really doing it? And what was even the purpose of having that HOH competition when it seemed like they knew that gift bag was being opened and they knew it was going to go away. So to me, it was just like kind of a useless twist. I don't know.
But what about the strategy for the girls that they did come up with, where they said if a guy goes in, was this smart? Was this a good game move?
Yeah, I think that was
the guys should have done the same thing, and instead they just sat there and just let the girls kind of run with it. And that kind of, if I would have saw that in the house, the paranoia would have kicked in so bad that it's like, all right, all the girls are lined up. 1, I know the girls are working together. That would have clicked. Right. But 2, it would have been scary for me in a sense to see everybody just grouped up. So it was like, I don't know how the guys didn't click and do the same thing, which was stupid on their end. But I mean,
right.
I really felt bad for Shannon in that moment because she fought so hard and stayed up there for so long for that first HOH, and then just to kind of have it being taken from you, essentially. And then having that recast, I'm happy that it was gone though this episode. Therefore, that's not a lingering expect the unexpected for future episodes. But I felt bad for Shannon because she fought to be up there.
But honestly, I think that kind of saved Shannon because she won the HOH, but still her noms went up, but she didn't really get the blood Keisha did. So it worked out for her, but then she went and won the veto and started pulling deals with James, which messed up her game. But I think that actually worked out for her. It kind of helped her out that she didn't have to take the shots at people and do the noms. So
right. What was I gonna? So the other thing that I thought was interesting. So when they won, when Keisha was recast, and then they wanted to veto and put up. She immediately nominated James, but if James is a target, isn't that a stupid move? Because wouldn't you want to backdoor him if he was such a competitor? Or is that?
I didn't understand that. Well, that I didn't really understand. But the biggest thing is, why on earth? I want to get y'all's opinions. Why would you take down Chuck, put up Mark just to scare him? Right. And and it's like everyone was like getting all mad that Shannon was like, "Wait a second, this is not a good idea."
But who would that be good for? Omarosa? It doesn't seem
but
like
even
that
Omarosa, and that's why.
What do you think, Josh?
I honestly think that was the biggest mistake for Shannon. I mean, they're building a relationship now, but not to take out James. The guy's gonna flip on her as soon as he gets a chance, or it doesn't work out to his benefit. So I'm like, I would have taken a shot at James, not pissed anybody else off, and then let next week play out. But I think that it was just overplayed. I think that it was just way too overplayed.
Well, and if anything, keeping Chuck around, it's like he almost could have been a pawn in all these situations. Like he's somebody you could
just. He had no idea.
You're right.
James
he had
was
no
going
idea.
on in the house of Big Brother.
He's really not that competitive. Like it seems like he didn't really know what was going on. Keep the dude around. You can use him later. But like James, we saw in the competition, killed the ballerina. So it's like, you probably should have got him out.
There's also no advantage to keeping James in the house. Like they're really it was what you're saying basically. I mean, there's no reason for Chuck could have been swayed either way. I think if James gets pulled into an alliance or finds loyalty somewhere, he's going to stick with it. He's not going to falter. He's not going to flip-flop necessarily as quickly as like maybe Chuck would.
I feel like James has the ability to pull in numbers and pull in people and flip a couple people to do like his things like his way. Whereas in Chuck, not a floater, but I think that he doesn't understand the dynamic of Big Brother. Whereas in, I don't think James does either, but he picked up on it quick. So that in itself is a threat. Whereas in, I would have been like, all right, let's get this guy out of here.
Did you guys listen to James's single that he plugged?
No.
Oh no, that was I hate when people do that. God,
that was like Celebrity Big Brother to a T to me. I was like, all right,
didn't he plug
really
that in his speech?
Yes, on his eviction speech, and it's not like
okay, guys, y'all might be right, but I still want him to stay.
But it's not like with you guys, like when you're like, well, I mean, with the Big Brother, like yours, Josh, because I mean, you're on Thursday night, it's live, you know it, whatever, so you have that like sort of element of like, oh, this is what I can talk. I know that my family's watching or whatever. And his is like, that was just like out of left field. Like,
check out my single.
I bet it got actually a lot of people went to go listen to it.
Is he even a good singer? I don't know.
What is Big Time?
He's so confident though. He better be. He is so confident.
You know what's funny is I actually interviewed him for AfterBuzz before he was on Celebrity Big Brother, and he didn't know I was on Big Brother.
Are you serious?
But I should have been like, hey, like, here's some tips. But
Wait, did you know that
spotlight
he was going on?
It was on a red carpet, actually, and he was there, and I interviewed him. And
what did you ask him? Like, what did he?
He was there for some like it had to do with like Dancing with the Stars, and I think I asked him like why he somehow it got mentioned that he was going to do a push-up contest. So is anyone surprised?
God,
but. Great interview.
Singles push-up contest and worried about wearing a pink leotard.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's what he was worried about?
Yeah. Josh, I do have a question for you because I have seen some similarities. I know you and the owl, Orwell, were very close. And I've seen Meta kind of cheating. I feel like the owl is cheating on you.
He's knocking my style. He's cracking my style. No, I honestly love Meta. And if it wasn't for Meta, like he's like comic relief this season, so I'm really happy that he's in there.
Yeah.
Well,
a lot of people don't like him because he doesn't have any gameplay. He doesn't get the game of Big Brother. I mean, the guy's filthy rich.
Right.
He doesn't need 250K. You get me? But I think that it's fun that he's in there, and hopefully, I just wish he knew a little bit about the game. But it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch him for sure.
Do you see him go? For some reason, I feel like he might go far. Like, I know he keeps asking to go home, but I feel like if people keep putting that off, he might make it to the end.
Right.
I wanted him to click and be like, I can win this. You get me? Like, just click and be like, I can actually win this. I'm going to continue to play dumb, continue to just play it that I want to go, and nobody's going to be threatened by him.
Right.
But I don't think he has it in him, and I don't think he gets the game to where, he even has the interest to do that.
I think that's the key point.
I agree. It's like the interest is super important. And then I feel like his conversations with people are less speaking strategy and more trying to learn how the game works.
Right. What's the back door?
What's the back door? And who did I vote for? Like that.
Yeah.
Who did you vote for?
It's really, I think when it's just a gameplay, it's just really bad to watch. But I saw his clip of like, playing with the damn floaties in the hot tub because he's just a funny guy to watch. I love him, but I'm rooting for him because I like him as a personality. But game-wise, I know that he's not gonna. There's no way he's winning it.
But was that a bad casting? I mean, would you rather see someone who does know a lot about the game, like somebody like Matt Eisman or somebody else that would actually be that knows about it, or is it interesting to see someone just being like a fish out of water thrown into a situation that they have no idea what to do in?
As a fan of the show, I don't like it, but honestly, he's just so entertaining to watch, and you don't know what he's gonna do that it's funny as hell. So I enjoy watching him.
I mean, to me, it's like, I don't know if you watch our season. I know y'all two did, but he's like Justin on our season. Justin had absolutely no idea what was going on, but he sang about pizza, and honestly, like, he made it so entertaining. So I feel like you almost do. It's frustrating. Trust me, living with him, so frustrating. You want to smack him and be like, please listen to me. Yeah. But it's like, for TV, it's almost like you need that one kind of token relief where it's not all gameplay. Like, I guess, give me a clip of Meta playing with floaties, like, give me a giggle, and then zoom in on Shannon gaming more. It's a nice little breakup, I guess.
I agree. It's like, essentially, he's not a threat, so you can have him around. And then also, it's kind of fun to see how someone who kind of gets dropped into the house with no experience, never watched, don't even know what they're doing, how they actually do succeed. Because sometimes we have too much information and we can outplay ourselves.
Well, like, look at Shannon. She knows the game ins and outs, and it's almost like
it's screwing her over.
It's really screwing over. She's playing way too hard. Josh, was there anybody on your season that was I'm trying to think, but was there anybody on your season that you felt like was not a super? I feel like all you guys were super fans almost.
Yeah, that's what made me go insane. The first 2 weeks was that everyone I felt like was a super fan, and one of my strategies was to not tell anyone I was a super fan.
And that was a good strategy.
Yeah, because for me, it was more, and Morgan knows this. Everybody says, "Oh, it's the pulling strings and all that." It's a huge social game, but also adapting. And from being a fan of the show, I found it easy to adapt each and every week. And if I was like, I'm a fan, I feel like a lot of people would have clicked. Still, people weren't threatened by me, and that's where they messed up. That's why I say don't underestimate anybody. Like, for instance, Marissa, I think that she's doing awesome. She's a huge fan. She knows what she's doing, but I feel like nobody's threatened by her.
I think she's going to go to the
hot waters, but
She's also seems very genuine. I mean, when she was saying goodbye to Chuck, that was very, I mean, she was very teary-eyed, and it just seemed very genuine. And she was like, I can't wait to meet your family. I mean, I really like her. I
mean, she's my prediction. I really think she has a great chance of winning the whole game. I mean, look, she crushed the veto competition. She has a great social game. It seems like everyone in the house really likes her. And from my experience and, like, even watching, it seems like, I mean, the people you like, you don't really want to go after them just yet. And she has Shannon as a shield. She has Ross as a shield in front of her. Yeah. Like, she's setting herself up pretty well.
Yeah. And because of her personality, people are underestimating her because she's really chill, kind of laid back, and just fun, but bubbly personality. That's great. But she's also a savage.
She's really likable.
Because, I'm sorry, two things that she's done. Number one was going into the gift room, box and not actually redeeming her gift box. Like, she was like, I'm not getting into this. So I was like, wow, you just totally totally went against what all the girls decided to do.
And it was her idea.
Exactly.
To get everybody
to
to
come. And then number two, clearly her willing to go against her shield and backdoor Shannon tonight. Like she was going to use her own power of veto to get her friend out of the house.
Yeah.
So that was pretty epic. But just one
question.
And
that just shows, I wish they would have put, God, I would have loved to watch a nice backdoor, but like, well, that sounded wrong. I honestly, I would have loved to see Shannon go. I think that she's just now it's gonna get ugly, and I can't. I want to jump on the feed.
I can't wait to watch it.
That's what's gonna be so good.
I can't wait. Like I hope. I don't know if they already told her. I'm like on Twitter trying to find out, but like the house is gonna blow up if Shannon finds out that Ross was trying to backdoor her. But yeah, Marissa. That just shows how strategic she is and how much she really does know the game. I think in the beginning, a lot of people underestimated her, and they were all focusing on Shannon, but I think she's playing it smart, and like Morgan said, I can see her winning the whole thing.
So question for Josh and Morgan, just in reference to the emotions and what Bryce was kind of hinting to, like they are really crying and emotional. And I know, Josh, you were emotional in your season. You let your heart show, which was good. And I know that it was tough being in there, even though you did have moral support. You're a sweetheart. So I want to know, like, how did you guys find calm and peace throughout all the craziness, throughout the paranoia? Like, how did you find solace in the house?
Josh, I'll let you.
I was gonna let you go first.
For me, it was different. I think I had my sister obviously in the game, and I think having that one person there was a very different situation. I think when she left is when I hit my breaking point. That was when I was like, oh shit, what am I doing here? I can't do this. I hate these people. But I think for me, it was the fact that knowing that my family's watching and I'm playing now for my sister. Like I am here for her because it was her dream. She's now here. It's on my shoulders to get my stuff together.
That's a lot.
Yeah. It was, and I just felt like such a burden. Like, she's watched since season 1. I'm this girl who's never seen the show. She left. I'm here. It is my job to win this whole entire game for her. So I think that's what kept me sane. But honestly, like, there's no moment when you actually are completely sane in that house. Like, Josh, I don't know if you ever felt a moment where you were normal, but it really is like something like no other.
I think I clicked on like day 15 that I'm a complete lunatic and that this house is going to make it extremely worse. Yeah, it's crazy in there. But like Morgan, like what you said, my motivation throughout the whole game was I just envisioned myself walking out and being like, Mom and Dad, I won. You get me? And that brought out so much emotion because I played with so much like on my heart, and it was I played with a heavy heart the whole season, just thinking how I wanted to give back to my family and I wanted to win for them, and that took a toll on me. Plus all the intense fights and all that, so I looked like a big baby on TV. But you know, I was very and being a huge fan. I think that just being in there and envisioning yourself being in that house for so many years and that it happening, and then you have all the odds stacked against you, it just made it really hard. So I can never excuse how much I cried because I cried a lot. But I think that it was just,
Josh, I will never judge you for your tears. Trust me.
No, it seemed. I mean, you seemed real though. I mean, it seemed like it wasn't. You didn't seem like you were ever doing it for a you know, as using it to your advantage. You were. It was always.
But honestly, like
I think it worked to my advantage.
Yeah,
it did.
That's what I was
but it wasn't
say.
like you were doing it to be malicious or anything. At least I don't know. I mean, I didn't seem like it.
No, I could never. I think what I'm really happy how I portrayed myself on the show was a lot of things I'm embarrassed about. Pots and pans is one of them. But a lot of things, it's like I completely showed, I guess America got to see all aspects of who I am and all traits of my personality and saw the real me, the happy, the mad. So you saw all sides of Josh, and I'm happy that I walked away with being vulnerable and open enough to not being afraid to show my feelings and being real. So, yeah.
I think that's so. We saw you on Friday's episode. You were up there with a bunch of other winners. It's funny. It was interesting to see the four of you because I feel like you all played very different yet extremely successful games. Yeah. And I mean, how did that make you feel being up there? As a winner, you've never been on that stage being interviewed by Julie.
Oh, I was extremely nervous.
Really?
I was probably shaking, and they were all like used to it or whatever. I was waiting for Morgan to come out. I'm like, where the hell is Morgan? Because we're homies.
Oh my God, guys.
Where were you?
Guys, I was on NBC. I don't know. I'm on another show.
She was the correspondent for the Olympics.
Sorry, guys. I had bigger opportunities.
That is a little ridiculous. I can't believe they didn't give you even an invite.
Guys, it's
honestly,
fine.
I was so nervous, but in the same sense, I think that if you won Big Brother, you did something right.
Yeah.
So nobody can ever discredit that. Morgan did what she had to do and had her sister and Shelby, and they were an awesome duo. I played dumb. Sadly, America thinks I really am dumb. But I kind of let people pull the strings, and I did things through behind and riled people up and played an honest, straightforward game. And it worked out, and Derek was just a puppet master. But either way, if you won Big Brother, I think that nobody can take that away from you or discredit that you're a winner.
Josh, anytime someone tries to tell you that, just tell them to check your bank account. That's what I do.
Yeah. That's what I always say. I'm like, listen, you can see whatever you want, but my bank account's looking real nice.
Josh,
I can't be mad.
Josh, would you want to still like to be involved like the other past winners have been, like how Derek and Nicole have been in? Like, would you like to continue that role as like, you know, being a commentator?
Yeah, 100%. I think what I'm really excited about is that I get to do this now. Like, as before, I would be screaming at my TV with my opinion. And now I get to talk to fans, do interviews, and talk to you guys. I'm a huge fan of Big Brother, and I think it's just going to become more intense that I played. So, I'm really excited that they bring me back and I can get to do all that stuff. It's fun.
So I don't know if you remember this, but I mean, you definitely remember Morgan. You probably don't remember me. But we actually saw you the night after you won Big Brother. Do we have that photo of us?
We have a photo somewhere.
I saw the photo. Yeah, I saw the photo.
Yeah.
Oh, I put it on Instagram.
Yeah. So, but you were, talk us through that night because you were swarmed. Like the second that you walked in, it was like pandemonium. So I just went like, how did you
contemplating going? Because everyone, all my house guests were texting and calling me, and they're like, "You need to get here," and I'm like, "I can't go." Like I saw pictures, I was like, "This is." I just walked out of the house, and went through. I mean, Morgan knows exactly what. Like, went through interviews, went to being thrown into a party where I was like, "I'm just not going," and I didn't show up. Probably, I mean, I showed up really late. Yeah. And when I saw Morgan, it kind of every time I saw a familiar face, it calmed me down. But it was. I went blank.
Was your family there? Was your family there at the party, or did they? When did you see them?
My sister went with me, and Jason FaceTimed me from the party, and my mom saw it, and she was like, "No way in hell am I going to that party."
Oh my
God.
What is the experience like at those parties? Because it's a combination between other house guests, but then also fans. I believe can get tickets to it.
Well,
so are you guys...
I was certainly fangirling.
Okay, so you were officially a fan, but are you guys like bombarded with people like, "Oh my God, I love you! Oh my God, tell me this!" And
it's a very overwhelming experience, but amazing.
Yeah.
Like Morgan.
It really. I wish I can go back, and I wish I would have gone earlier and lived that, enjoyed that moment, and not had been so like my anxiety through the roof. But as soon as you get out of the car, you're like bombarded by people, and
I mean, there were cameras on you. People were like running up to you. I mean, it was like very it was just an interesting thing to watch.
It was a really cool moment. I wish I would have enjoyed it and not have been blanked out and like spaced out the whole time.
Well, you can go to the next one.
I honestly was like, what the hell has my life become? I'm like, what is this? What is going on? That's what I was thinking the whole time. But I mean, it was a good time, and it makes the whole dream and the whole experience just way more worth it.
So I want to ask you, like, who are you guys at this point rooting for? Because we've established, you know, we've been 5 episodes deep. It seems like it's.
I know.
It's like
been
6
what,
hours.
A week?
6 hours of content. It's been 5 days. So who are you guys all rooting for? Jessica, why don't you go first?
Who am I rooting for?
Like, who do you want to win?
Well, originally I wanted Shannon to win, but I do think that, as we said, she's playing too aggressive and she's slipping up and she's letting her emotions kind of like sway her both ways. I am really loving Ross because I feel that he is super smart. He's so funny. Like, I love when he's like, "I'm going to put on the hat as an investigative journalism right now." I'm like, yes. But I love him, and I think that he's super savage just in the way that he's willing to go against Shannon so soon and see the flaws, you know, in aligning with James. And so I think that he has the likability, the wits, and he keeps his mouth shut.
Yeah.
And so I think he's going to go far. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's what I'm rooting for.
Okay, who do I want to go far? I want Ross and Marissa. I think this whole thing with backdooring Shannon is going to blow up in Ross's face, and I honestly think there's a good chance if that does, he's going to go home pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I think that's really going to hurt him. I don't see him making it to the end. I would love him to. I'm thinking Marissa. As funny as it would be, I love Brandy, and to see her make it far, and like I want to see her step up the game more. We got to see a little glimpse of it, but I mean, I'm all for an underdog, and no one would see Brandy ever making it to the end. But
that is true.
I think right now I'm Team Ross and Marissa.
And Josh?
Yeah, for sure, Team Ross, but I think it's going to blow up in his face. Like, if Shannon just catches wind of what he was planning, I think he opened up his mouth to too many people. Like, if you wanted to make that move, you stay quiet, you tell your closest ally, and that's it, and you take the shot. And then, but I think that it was just too many people involved, and I think it's going to blow up. But I would love Ross to win. I love that he's a huge fan. I love that he doesn't care about being underestimated or people looking past him. But I hope it doesn't blow up in his face. I think Ross and Marissa, like Morgan said, that they have a really good chance at winning the game, and they get the dynamic of Big Brother, so it definitely works to their advantage.
What would you say to Ross? Like, what would you tell? Like, if you could talk to him right now, what would you say about his gameplay? What advice would you give him?
Deny. Deny.
Don't admit.
Like, when Shannon comes and confronts you, deny. I have no idea what you're talking about. I did not have any. Blame it all on Keisha.
Oh yeah, she's gone.
She can't defend herself.
She peaced out.
Blame it on the baby.
Seriously.
Yeah, and just keep your mouth shut, dude. If you're gonna trust one person, trust Marissa.
Yeah, she should be his ride or die.
Keep your mouth shut. Slightly, like, convince people, but gradually. Don't be so aggressive. Like, hey, I want to make this shot and make this move. I think there's a way of making people open their eyes and seeing what you see. You get me? Like, try to place the target on Shannon, but with opening their eyes, not being like, hey, I want to take the shot and backdoor her. I think that was way too aggressive from his end, and he could have done it in a different way. For me, I just called people out and blew up their game, and it worked out, but that doesn't work for everybody. So,
if everyone wanted Shannon out so bad this week, why wouldn't they continue that? Like, next week, I'm trying to think, like, who would reveal to her? Like, who would spill the beans?
Right.
And then I'm wondering, my second question is kind of, are they going to now team up with Omarosa and pull her in like they wanted to do with Keisha? Are they still going to leave her out there? Like, how is that dynamic?
that
You
is
know
a
who
good
I
point.
think is going to spill the beans? I think Mark. I think right now,
he
because remember
doesn't need to play
they
at
pulled
all.
him in and they were like, okay, here's our plan to backdoor Shannon, but he's also close with James, who's also close with Shannon. Somehow, some little piece of information is it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Like,
Perhaps by
he's gonna
accident.
slip somehow, and he seems like he's pretty loose mouth. Like, he's not your typical super fan. He doesn't, I feel like, get that like one little thing can blow up in your face. I'm ready for the next episode.
Yeah.
That's such a good point.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I think that, and if James and Shannon get in power, oh God, everybody's gonna run around there with terrified. They're all gonna spill the beans and blame it on each other. So I cannot wait till the next episode drops. It's gonna be fun, and I can't wait to watch.
What do you think is going to happen? Because the celebrities they're part of the jury. So what do you guys think is going to happen when they watch the show? How is that going to change their vote at the end?
I have such mixed emotions with them getting to go on social media and then see everything.
Yeah.
Because it's going to completely dilute
messes
like
up the whole-
it's gonna mess up everything, and then it's gonna be
messes up the whole point of jury.
Right, exactly. It's
not
almost
supposed to see that this person's manipulating you and backstabbing you and pulling all these strings, and you're supposed to make judgment on who you think should win the game.
Yeah. And
whereas if they're walking out to public knowledge what the fans think, they get to watch the whole entire basically season. So it's
I think what it's going to come down to is, like, who didn't lie to me, who was honest. Like, even Chuck said, he was like, well, who's even talking about? He was like, well, so-and-so was straight up for me. So, like, if he gets to the end, I'm just going to vote for him no matter what.
Yeah. Who was
so
that?
it's like, I don't remember who he was talking about, but I feel like it's going to come down to that. It's not going to be like, well, they really played the best game. It's like, well, I heard what they said about me because I can go and look on social media. I hope it doesn't get down to that.
Yeah.
It makes me think about season 3 and how Danielle, in my opinion, should have won that season, but it was because they didn't like sequester jury, that they were able to go back and see everything, her plotting, and it really was her demise. And after that season is when they changed it over. And so for that point, I really do feel like it's going to damage the true winner. But at the same time, they haven't been saying super heinous things like in the DRs. So I feel like they have to know.
Yeah, I hope that they at least respect gameplay.
Right.
Like, if Shannon does make it to the end, I think that she should win because she played hard from the beginning.
Yeah.
And if she makes it to the end, like, she should just everyone game over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done. Whoever's sitting next to her, she has to win the game. Because she's a fan and she's been playing hard from the beginning. But I hope that the gameplay is respected and they put all that into perspective when they go vote. And yeah, hopefully somebody that deserves it wins it. I would love to see another superfan win, to be honest with you.
I agree.
Do you think
I would love it to be in between Marissa, Ross, and Shannon, but we'll see what happens.
Well, Josh, before we let you go, I just want to ask. I just want to ask one question, which is: do you think any of the celebrities are playing a similar game to you right now, or like who do you?
I feel like it's a combination of like meta and it's like a combination of meta and in my season, what worked to my advantage, and I played up to it. I think I downplayed myself so much in that house, but I wasn't very vocal. I kind of was in big conversations that involved game, and I kind of just absorbed, like just took everything in and really didn't open my mouth. And I had Christmas. I think that Marissa is in a huge alliance, and she's grabbing so much information.
That's what I was gonna say.
And if she manages to keep her mouth shut and just make moves, which we saw, she wanted to take that shot at Shannon. I think that Marissa, if I had to compare game, because she is underestimated, and people are not looking at her as a threat, I think it would be Marissa. Yeah.
Who do you want?
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering, like, who do you want Josh out of the house next? Like, who's the next person you want to be evicted?
Yeah.
I would love to see James go.
Guys, we need a villain.
He's not likable.
He's not likable, but it's like every time he comes on, I'm like, God, I just love to hate you.
God, exactly. So
Love
it's
to
good.
hate
I don't even love to hate
with
him. I
people
hate
back in the house where I couldn't stand them, but I knew it was
so
ratings. I knew it was gold. I knew that people were loving it. But I'm like, I don't get the guy. I don't like him. He's not likable, at least for me, he's not. So I'm like,
but like, you know, if he stays in, it's just more. It's more drama. I'm like, keep it coming. Let him stay. Let Brandy go at him. Let's see what happens between him and Shannon. Like, I'm very curious what's going to happen between those two, because they seem like the way they're editing it seems like they're inseparable. But that could be just the way they're getting their edit. Shannon and James.
Oh, Shannon and James.
What do you think about a showman's with James and Ari?
They would make beautiful, beautiful babies, but no way.
No.
It'll never happen.
So annoying. So annoying.
No way. No way.
Okay, Josh,
Ari's gorgeous, and her accent drives me crazy.
Oh my gosh,
she's gorgeous.
That's another one where I'm like, I don't see Ari making moves. I don't see her.
She could be another dark horse.
Being involved in game much, so it's like.
I mean, Josh. I mean, when Ross said adding the spelling comp, he's like, well, she's just so pretty. I was like, you just summed up the season perfectly, Ross. He was like,
I feel like she was casted because she's just drop dead gorgeous. Like, you look at the girl and you go nuts.
Exactly.
So she's beautiful, but I don't see her being a huge game player or even snapping out of it like meta, like coming to her senses. So.
But I love what Julie Chan said on the talk when she was she was doing an interview on Jimmy Kimmel when she was introducing like who the house guests were going to be, and she was like, yeah, we have Miss Columbia because she lost that competition, so now she has a reason to fight to win something. I was like, the shade, Julie.
Oh my God, Julie is a savage. She did today, I was dying.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was hysterical.
That was perfect.
Did you have any question?
Yeah, Josh, last question for you. Okay, hypothetical, you're in the house. You have to pick a final four with these celebrities of who you think that you'll go to the end with and win. Who would your final four be?
Ooh.
Sorry, I hit you with the big one.
That is big.
Sorry, guys.
A lot of thinking.
Or maybe even final two.
I would pick Ari because I could beat her. I would pick Meta because I know I could beat him.
Should write this down.
Mark. I think I would be able to beat Mark. And I want to say Shannon because she would be a bigger target, but I don't know if I would beat Shannon at the end. So,
all right. I'm just. We'll see. We'll see who gets to the final four.
Before we go, we have a little segment called Chen Chatter.
It's so punny.
It's really punny. Julie, we talked. It's just like something that Julia said or whatever, like in an interview or whatever. So Julie was asked by the Hollywood Reporter, "What's going to bother the cast the most? Is it the seclusion, the cameras, or other castmates?" So what do you think she said?
What's going to bother the cast?
I'm asking you. Okay, so do you think what is going to bother the cast the most? Is it the seclusion, the cameras, or the other cast members? So I want to know what you guys think Julie said.
Ooh, I think seclusion, like being away from social media.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they love the
other cast members.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they love the cameras. I would say seclusion too because they're used to getting along with other celebrities. It's not like they're in the house with fans.
Yeah.
They feel like they're on commentary.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, Josh was right. She said each other. Everyone wants to be the star, and you can only have one star.
Is true.
Ego is always the hardest thing in the game.
Yes.
Josh, this is why you won Big Brother.
Yeah, true, really. Well, Josh, thank you so much for being with us, and thank you guys for being with us. We are going to be. Please go to my Twitter, go to Morgan's Twitter to check out our schedule. It's a little crazy, but we're going to be with you for the next 2 weeks, recapping this show. If you want to tweet us questions or comments, you can hashtag BuzzBB. And we have a lot of awesome guests coming up in studio. We're going to have great co-hosts and everything else. So we look forward to seeing you guys. Thank you so much again, Josh. Where can everybody find you on social media?
So thank you guys for having me. This was fun. Morgan, you're the best.
Absolutely.
And
Stop.
my Instagram handle is Josh_Martinez_. And yeah, from there you can find my Twitter and all that fun stuff. So
that's awesome. Okay, well, you guys, that's it for us for the first 5 episodes of Celebrity Big Brother. We'll be back on Wednesday. We'll have a special guest.
Can I? Oh, I'm not gonna tell y'all the special guest actually.
Well, don't tell them all,
mystery.
but maybe give them a hint for Wednesday. Morgan's been killing it in the guest department, by the way.
Hint for Wednesday.
We have so many good people coming.
Pokemon. That's your hint. That's it.
Pokemon. All right, you guys, that's it for us. I'm Bryce McLeay. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Bryce Advice.
And I am Morgan Willett. You can find me on Twitter at Morgan_Willett.
Yes, and I'm Jessica Williams. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Jessica WW and on Instagram at Miss Jessica Williams. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us.
So much fun.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.